Have you noticed how the concept of masculinity has evolved throughout recent history? How the rise of feminism and the shifting dynamics of gender roles influenced the perception of traditional masculinity in contemporary society? And in a world where traditional gender norms are being scrutinized and redefined, who are the individuals daring enough to revive the subject around masculinity and empower men to embrace their authentic selves? Today, I'd like to shine a spotlight on two controversial figures who've become catalysts for change: Andrew Tate and Jordan Peterson. Now, whether you love them or hate them, if there is one thing you can't deny is that their ideas have ignited fiery debates, challenged the status quo, and forced us to confront the complexities of masculinity in the 21st century. They've emerged as powerful voices, drawing both strong support and fervent criticism, but one thing is absolutely undeniable: their influence is massive, and their impact cannot be ignored. But what exactly is the difference between positive and toxic masculinity? Are these just some outdated concepts, or do they actually hold the key to unlocking a more harmonious and balanced society? Is it possible to redefine masculinity without necessarily undermining the progress made by the feminist movement just 5-6 decades ago? These are just some of the questions that I consider the stepping stones on my journey of understanding and navigating this complicated subject. In this introspective exploration, I kind of wanted to delve into the minds of Andrew Tate and Jordan Peterson. I really wanted to examine their teachings, dissect their ideologies, and uncover the profound impact they've had on the discourse surrounding masculinity and many men as a whole, including myself. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I've been a huge admirer of both these gentlemen. I can first-handedly say that listening to these gentlemen and applying their teachings and advice in my daily life has been tremendously positive. So I can't say that, my opinions on these guys are completely unbiased. However, I will say that it's my absolute intention to stand for the truth and speak up for what I believe is right. So ladies and gents, I implore you to cast aside judgment just for a few minutes and hear me out on what I have to say. Forget about your preconceived notions and whether or not the Tate brothers are allegedly guilty, because I want you to question the very essence of what it means to be a man in our modern world today. And to do so, we need to be able to challenge our own beliefs, confront uncomfortable truths so we can emerge with a clearer understanding of the complexities of this world. So I want you to navigate these treacherous waters of controversy and be guided by a genuine desire to foster empathy and understanding so we can grow. Now, before I get into this subject, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel to stay updated on some amazing and insightful content. Let's dive in. Part 1. Toxic masculinity or toxic feminism. As we navigate the intricate landscape of masculinity, it is crucial to address the struggles that men face in our society. Men too bear burdens that are often overshadowed or even blatantly dismissed. For example, we cannot overlook the alarming rates of male suicide, the epidemic of social isolation, and the psychological toll that societal expectations place on men. Because whether we like it or not, us men are only loved based under the condition that we can actually provide something, that we can bring something to the table. And while toxic masculinity has its undeniable negative impacts, we must also recognize that modern feminism in its current form has its fair share of toxicity and unintended consequences as well. Moreover, the disintegration of traditional family structures has resulted in a rise of single mother households. And while single mothers can undoubtedly bring their own unique qualities to the table, the absence of a strong male figure in a young boy's life can leave a void that yearns to be filled. Boys need positive male role models to learn from, to teach them essential life lessons, and to help shape their understanding of masculinity in a healthy and constructive manner. And this is something that I've always struggled with tremendously myself. As a young boy whose father passed away when I was only 7 years of age, growing up without a strong male figure in my life has always been extremely challenging, to say at the very least. Another important factor that contributes significantly to the emasculation of men is the drastic increase of sexualization and the degeneracy prevalent in virtually all aspects of modern culture. Think about it. There has never, ever been a time in history where the average boy would have the same or even higher level of access to an endless pool of nudity in porn as the average king just 100 years ago. And it's not only porn that has a profound impact on the perception of masculinity. Music, media, popular culture, etc. They all perpetuate the same harmful stereotypes and reinforce the idea that hypersexualization and objectification are the ultimate pinnacle of fulfillment and happiness. And this is where figures like Andrew Tate and Jordan Peterson come in. They provide counterbalance to the negative portrayal of masculinity in the media, and they both offer an alternative to this narrative, emphasizing the development of character, self-discipline, and integrity as key components of positive masculinity. Both of them have been at the forefront of this discourse, challenging reverted gender roles and emphasizing personal responsibility and self-improvement. It is my belief that the number one reason they've become such influential figures in such a short period of time is because they address these issues head on. Because whether you agree with them or not, many men do believe that these gentlemen provide guidance and inspiration to all those who find themselves lost in the complexities of modern masculinity. By encouraging personal growth, self-reflection, and a commitment to positive values, they empower many men to rise above the struggles they face and to create meaningful change in their lives and communities. Andrew Tate's message, for example, revolves mainly around the principles of self-improvement, discipline, goal setting, etc. He encourages men to take ownership of their lives, develop strong work ethics, and build confidence. And while some may view his approach as controversial, his message, whether you like it or not, resonates with many individuals who are seeking guidance in developing a resilient mindset and overcoming adversity. Now, Jordan Peterson, on the other hand, has provided a more nuanced perspective on the challenges of men in the modern world. He emphasizes the importance of personal responsibility, the pursuit of meaningful goals, and the development of character. Peterson's teachings have resonated with millions and millions of people, particularly young men who yearn for direction and a sense of purpose in their lives. And yet both of these men have been vilified and cancelled by those who fail to see the immense value they bring to the conversation on masculinity.
Controversial social media influencer Andrew Tate
is in the news again, facing serious criminal charges.
The charges include rape, human trafficking, and forming an organised crime group.
It is truly unfortunate that in our increasingly polarized society, any deviation from the mainstream narrative is met with swift condemnation, dismissing the genuine concerns and struggles of men. And this brings us to the second part of this video. Who really pulls the strings? Cancel culture has become such a pervasive force in our society, wielding its power to silence individuals who dare to even remotely challenge the status quo or express views that run counter to prevailing ideologies. Now, if you've been around for the past 3 years or so, you must have some idea of what I'm talking about here. In the realm of masculinity, this cancel culture has targeted figures like Andrew Tate and Jordan Peterson, among others, subjecting them to relentless attacks and character assassination, like the Cathy Newman interview with JP, for example, or the BBC's recent embarrassing interview with Andrew Tate. But who is truly pulling the strings behind this phenomenon? It is important to recognize that cancel culture does not arise organically or spontaneously. It is fueled by various higher powers, the matrix like Andrew Tate likes to call it, that seek to control the narrative and suppress dissenting voices. These higher powers include media outlets, social media platforms, and influential individuals who have the ability to shape public opinion and sway popular discourse. They operate in the shadows, manipulating public perception and enforcing a conformity of thought. Now, when strong masculine leaders dare to challenge the prevailing narratives on masculinity, they become threats to the established order. Their ideas, which emphasize personal strength, independent thinking, and the pursuit of truth, pose a direct challenge to the agendas of those in power. By promoting resilience, strength, and positive masculinity, these figures empower individuals to think critically, question authority, and strive for personal growth. It is quite obvious that this empowerment is seen as a threat by those who seek to maintain control. Cancel culture becomes a weapon in their arsenal, used to stifle dissent, suppress alternative perspectives, and maintain the dominance of their own ideologies. Through character assassination, social media outrage mobs, and coordinated efforts to deplatform and silence individuals, these higher powers ensure that their narrative remains unchallenged. It is therefore crucial, absolutely crucial, to recognize the insidious nature of this manipulation. Because cancel culture may present itself as a movement for justice and accountability, but in reality, it is often driven by ulterior motives. Genuine concerns and nuanced discussions are just sacrificed on the altar of ideological conformity, leaving little to no room for healthy debate or growth. And the impact of cancel culture reaches far beyond the individuals who are targeted. It permeates society, creating an atmosphere of fear and self-censorship. Men especially are hesitant to engage in discussions about masculinity for fear of being labeled as toxic or facing professional or personal repercussions. This stifling of open dialogue prevents us from truly understanding and addressing, these complex challenges faced by men in the world today. So as we navigate the dangers of cancel culture, it is essential to reclaim our agency in critical thinking. We really must resist the temptation to blindly follow the narratives imposed upon us and instead instead seek out diverse perspectives and alternative voices. By challenging the status quo and questioning the motives of those in power and advocating for open and respectful dialogue, we can begin to dismantle the oppressive forces of cancel culture. Because by the end of the day, true progress can only be achieved through honest and robust conversations. Embracing the teachings of figures such as Andrew Tate and Jordan Peterson does not mean subscribing blindly to their views, but rather engaging in thoughtful analysis and critical thinking. By doing so, we can reclaim the narrative on masculinity, empower men to explore their true potential, and foster a society that celebrates the diversity of human experiences. Part 3. Where to go from here? So where do we go from here? As a man, you have to understand that most of your journey towards embracing positive masculinity begins with yourself. It's a deeply personal and transformative process that requires self-reflection, self-awareness, and a commitment to personal growth for a very long period of time. And one of the crucial steps in doing so is to challenge the societal expectations and stereotypes that have been placed upon men. Recognize that you are not confined to just one shallow and narrow definition of masculinity, but that you have the freedom to define what being a man means to you. You need to embrace your unique qualities, strengths, and vulnerabilities without the fear of judgment or societal pressure. It's also important to cultivate emotional intelligence and develop a healthy relationship with your own emotions. Society often teaches us to suppress our feelings, but it's essential to understand that there is a difference between suppressing your emotions and being in control of your emotions. And from that, understand that vulnerability is actually a strength, not a weakness. Because the truth is, by allowing yourself to experience and express a wide range of emotions, you become more connected with your authentic self and forge deeper connections with others as a result of that. Furthermore, you need to seek out positive male role models who embody the qualities you aspire to cultivate. And whether it's Andrew Tate or Jordan Peterson, look for individuals who exhibit strength, integrity, empathy, and respect in their interactions. Surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals who support and uplift one another can be instrumental in your personal growth journey. Now, for all you women out there watching this, for you I also have some advice. Please take the time to educate yourself about the challenges faced by men today, including mental health issues, social isolation, and the pressure on societal expectations. By us recognizing your struggles and you recognizing ours, we can actively work towards mutual understanding and advocating for change on both ends. I think it is absolutely vital to contribute to the larger conversation surrounding masculinity. And I would encourage every man out there to engage more often in these types of discussions, to share your personal experiences and to actively challenge harmful narratives that perpetuate toxic masculinity or toxic femininity for that matter. Because it is my belief that what makes masculinity toxic is its absence, not its presence. And therefore, I would argue that we need more masculine figures and not less. Finally, extend your support to other men who may be struggling or who may be in need of guidance. Ask a colleague, a friend, or a family member what you can do for them. I think it's extremely important to foster a sense of brotherhood and create spaces where us as men can openly discuss our personal experiences, our challenges, and aspirations without necessarily having the fear of judgment. Together, we can build a supportive and compassionate community that uplifts and empowers one another, even if it needs to be done with tough love, because to be honest, that is what most men need to hear. So in conclusion, where do we go from here? Well, my answer is we go inward. Men like Andrew Tate and Jordan Peterson have played pivotal roles in igniting the conversations around masculinity, but now it's up to each and every one of us to take the lead and continue the journey of self-discovery and personal growth. It's important to remember that transformations of masculinity truly starts with ourselves. We must reflect on our own beliefs, attitudes, actions, and strive to embody the positive qualities we wish to see in the world. It's just not enough to simply admire the ideas and lessons of Tate and Peterson. We must actively apply them into our daily lives, into our relationships, etc. And that, my friends, is how we stay savage.